Need motivation?
Watch a top 10 with Believe Nation.
What's up, Believe Nation? It's Evan. I believe in you, and this channel is designed to be a part of your daily success routine. So let's get your motivation to a 10 and get you believing in you. Grab a snack and chew in today's lessons from a man who went from being a rebellious kid growing up to becoming a monk and living in India and Europe to now sharing his wisdom online and inspiring millions. He's Jay Shetty, and here's my take on his top 10 rules of success, volume 4. Okay, let's kick it off with rule number 1. Never regret a day in your life.
We can't control time. We can't control the future, but we can choose how we feel today. We can choose what we do today. We can choose who we meet today and where we go. Stop waiting for Friday. Stop waiting for summer. Stop waiting for that ideal job. Stop waiting for someone to spot your talent. It's not about waiting, but about making the most of each moment right now. Ask yourself, if this was the last day of your life, is this how you would like to spend it mentally? Up here. You might not be able to change what you do, but you can change how you feel about it. If you have to spend the day at work, ask yourself, how can I make it more meaningful? If you're at home with your family, ask yourself, how can I make it more fulfilling? If you're around people you don't like, move. We're not trees. And if you're in a toxic environment, learn to protect yourself. And no matter how little you have or how tough things are, see where you can be grateful. That book that's been on your mind, write it. That video that you've been scripting, shoot it. That business that you want to launch, start it. That skill you've been wanting to gain, learn it. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Take the moment and make it perfect. Never regret a day in your life. Good days give you happiness. Bad days give you experience. The worst days give you lessons. And the best days give you memories.
Rule number 2, visualize.
Whether it's David Beckham taking one of his famous free kicks, or whether it's Lewis Hamilton winning the Formula One, or whether it was Steve Jobs about to give one of his famous keynotes, the most underrated skill was this: visualization. The recreation of images, sounds, and environments before it has happened is one of the most powerful skills in the world. A very powerful meditation and mindfulness practice, visualization has been used for centuries to help prepare the mind, the body, and the consciousness for upcoming challenges, situations, and circumstances. Some of the world's greatest athletes use visualization as a way to prepare for big games, the big day, musicians for their new concerts and tours, and CEOs for their very important meetings.
Rule number 3, solve problems.
I noticed in your videos that you ask a lot of questions, and I would imagine that's something that you intend to do.
Yeah, I believe that the answers come from within, and we're not asking the right questions. I feel we're always looking for the right answers, not the right questions. And the biggest companies that we respect today, the biggest organizations, all came from trying to answer a question. It all came from trying to solve a problem or a question that we were able to identify. So my work comes from a very simple study that I read that said the most successful people in the world choose education over entertainment. And the most unsuccessful people in the world choose entertainment over education with their spare time. So my mission has been, how do we spread wisdom at the pace people want entertainment? And to me, entertainment allows you to populate the thought with your own brain. Like when you watch a character or a superhero, you can watch it from your own lens. The movie may have morals, it may have values, it may be talking about good and evil, but the movie's not deciding for you. The movie allows you a space to create and imagine and grow. So for me, that's what I want my content to do, is give people a space to populate themselves, see themselves in the characters that I'm presenting, see their own situation, and be able to come to their own conclusions.
Rule number 4, take responsibility.
Just around 2 years ago, I had this idea. I wanted to share wisdom at a pace we wanted entertainment. I wanted to share wisdom in a way that it could connect, resonate, and deeply evolve the lives of people all over the world. For 10 years before that, I'd been working with individuals, groups, coaching at universities, companies, and all of these opportunities, but I really wanted to serve and connect with everyone across the world. I wanted to make wisdom accessible to anyone who had one of these.
I have one of those.
So I was excited, I had the energy, the enthusiasm, and I was pitching my idea to every single company that was online. Now remember, this is before I ever made a single video, before any of you knew who I was.
Who's this guy?
I applied to not 10, not 20, but 30 online media companies, hoping that one of them would like my series idea. I waited a day, I waited 2 days, I waited a week. I was rejected by every single one of those companies before interview. None of them invited me for a phone interview. None of them invited me for a video interview. None of them even connected with me in any personal way.
That's rude.
I said to myself, it doesn't matter. Let's see what else I can do to try and make my goal a reality.
What else you got?
So I tried to network with people who may be able to give me a chance. I got one answer and one answer only. They said, you're getting older now. Most of the people who want to break into this industry are around 21 years old. Just don't worry about it. Other people said to me, look, you need to go get a media and journalism degree or a master's and then we'll take you seriously. Literally, I was getting rejected from every single person I spoke to. But inside of me, I had this desire, I had this calling, I had this mission, I had this vision that I wanted to share everything that I had learned with people out there. I genuinely tried every single possible method I could to break into the media industry, to the point that the only thing that was left that I could try was to start a social media channel. And of course, you know the rest. The most incredible thing is that it reminds me of a really powerful thought from Thomas Edison. He once said, when you believe you've exhausted all options, remember this, you haven't. That thought stayed in my mind the whole time. What I learned from all of this rejection, from all of this failure, from all of these clear no's, was one really important thing. And today, I want to give that as a gift to you.
Me?
If you have a dream, you have an idea, you have a vision, we have to take the responsibility to prove our worth before we expect anyone to value our talent. When I started crafting and creating my own videos, teaching myself how to edit, learning how to produce, understanding the mechanics of social media, when I started putting my energy into that space, that's when people started to take notice. That's when people started to listen. That's when things started to happen.
This is nice.
It's when I decided to take the responsibility for sharing what I was passionate about with the world and not waiting for someone external to validate me or give me permission or allow me to do that. That's what made the difference. If you're feeling you've been going through a lot of rejections, ask yourself this. Is your deeper passion and calling making you want to move further? Number 2, have you truly knocked on every single door? And number 3, are you working hard on investing in your expertise and passion so that you really have something impactful to offer?
Rule number 5, find balance.
There's a beautiful verse in the Bhagavad Gita that says that detachment doesn't mean that you own nothing.
Okay.
Detachment means that nothing owns you.
Okay.
And to me, that's that balance.
Okay.
That's that balance. It's that, you know that. Like if you're going over the millions and billions, but then that starts owning you.
Right.
We've seen that destroy people.
Right.
You've seen that destruct people.
So it's like the dominant energy.
Exactly.
But how do you think, because it's easy to fool yourself and be like, no, I'm not dominated by money, but like, was there a litmus test? Is there a test you had in the back of your mind that you could know that you are truly detached?
Well, I think there's, we have both. Like one of my favorite quotes, which kind of complicates the whole situation, is from Charles Cooley, where he said that, today I'm not what I think I am, I'm not what you think I am what I think you think I am.
Right.
All right? And we're lost in that perception of ourselves.
Yeah.
So if all my billionaire mates are telling me, no man, you're all right, like you've got money, you're good, but you've got to have that reflection. But that's not going to come if you're just surrounded in that echo chamber.
Yeah.
And you talk about this loads, having mentors.
Right.
My thing is that when I come up with an idea, I want to know what the Dalai Lama thinks as much as what the Mark Zuckerberg thinks. Because for me, that polarity is what allows me to not get lost in the echo chamber.
Rule number 6, serve.
One of the most beautiful things I learned was that serving other people was without a doubt the most meaningful experience of humanity. And there's this great study by Michael Norton from the Cambridge University where he talks about how money can buy happiness if you spend it on other people. And he's done this incredible study in all regions all across the world where he talks about how actually if people are given $5, $20, or even $100, when you spend it on yourself, your happiness doesn't go up or doesn't go down. But when you spend it on other people, your happiness has the opportunity to grow by at least 10 to 20%. So fulfillment grows when we use our money, time, energy in the service of others. And when I was working at internships, I felt like I was serving myself. And I wasn't getting an opportunity to impact someone else's life. We've all been in that, and I'm sure you have, been in that position where you've just made a difference in a young person's life, or you've made a difference in someone who doesn't have much, and you see the joy on their face. And that's what I was getting to experience as a monk on a daily basis.
Rule number 7, press pause and reflect.
Albert Einstein famously remarked in a conversation with Werner Heisenberg, he said, you know, in the West, we've built a beautiful ship, and in it, it has all the comforts. But actually, the one thing that it doesn't have is a compass, and that's why it doesn't know where it's going. This paradox of our times was propounded by the Dalai Lama when he said we have wider freeways but narrower viewpoints. We have taller buildings but shorter tempers. Will Smith said that we spend money we haven't earned on things we don't need to impress people we don't like. And it's phenomenal how the same technology that brings us close to those who are far away takes us far away from the people that are actually close. 30 billion WhatsApp messages are sent per day, but 48% of people say that they feel lonelier in general. The paradox of our times is that we have more degrees but less sense, more knowledge but less judgment, more experts but less solutions. It was Martin Luther King who said that the irony of our times is that we have guided missiles but misguided men. Have you ever found it perplexing that we've been all the way to the moon and back, but we struggle to start a conversation across the road or across the train? And it's amazing that Bill Gates was known as the top earner in 2015 with a wealth of 79.2 billion, but 1 in 4 CEOs claim to be struggling from depression. And do we actually thrive off this paradox? Is it that this paradox actually makes the media interesting? It's what makes journalism interesting. It's what makes politics interesting. It's what makes television interesting. Is this paradox actually what we feed off and what we live off and what we talk about and discuss in our circles? Doesn't it seem that we've tried to clean the air but polluted our soul? We've split the atom but not our prejudice, and we're aiming for higher incomes but we have lower morals. So I'm hearing you ask, how do we bring a change? How do we dissect this paradox that exists in our lives? And it starts by us, each of us, pressing pause, pressing reset, and then pressing play again, taking a moment to become more conscious, taking a moment to become more aware, taking a moment to really reflect on the consequence, the implications of a misplaced word, of an unnecessary argument that we all know we didn't need to have, or to speak to someone just slightly differently, in a different tone, in a different voice, in a different empathy, with a different perspective, just to really connect with people on a different level. This thinking out loud started from Albert Einstein, and I'll track back to him when he actually said that the problems we have today can't be solved with the same thinking we used when we once created them. So actually we need to research alternative teachings. We need to dig into those ancient books of wisdom. We need to go back to understanding if there's anything written in those creased pages of time that can actually reveal more knowledge and more wisdom of how we can transform our experience of light today. Otherwise, this paradox means that every step forward we take, we're taking 3 backwards every time.
Rule number 8, start your day with gratitude.
Finding some space, whether it's 10 minutes a day, 5 minutes a day, just to start with gratitude. I think that's the beginning of this journey.
So what do you mean by that? Is it writing down on a journal, I'm thankful that I'm healthy today. I'm thankful that I live in California.
The more specific your gratitude is, the deeper it is. So the more like it's like, oh, I'm thankful that I breathe, which is just everyone breathes.
Yeah.
The more specific we get about our particular situation.
Yeah.
Like I'm just happy that I was able to walk into work today and have meaningful relationships with the people I work with.
Yeah.
Or I'm just happy today that I'm standing with Ty. Right? That's a real specific gratitude, not that, oh, I'm in LA and it's sunny.
Right.
Which a million people are experiencing.
Yeah.
But
So something
people,
very specific.
Very specific.
Rule number 9, focus on true wealth.
I believe that wealth is beautiful and brilliant. It can do incredible things in the world when used to make a difference. When we use any wealth that we have to make an impact, to use it to make an influence, to help, serve, and support the lives of others. But today, I want to talk to you about a different type of rich list.
There's more than one.
One of my favorite teachings about wealth has been this. You can tell how rich you are by counting the amount of things you have that money cannot buy. There's a beautiful quote by Jim Carrey where he says, I believe that everyone should become rich, famous, and achieve everything they want just to realize that it's not the point.
That would be nice.
Real wealth, inner wealth, fulfillment, satisfaction, meaning, and purpose is a rich list that every single one of us can have and be on. I want you to take a moment to make a list of the things you have that money cannot buy. Maybe it's a beautiful family. Maybe it's an incredible partner. Maybe it's a passion and a drive that you recently found and discovered for yourself. Maybe it's a recent experience that you had that wasn't really about where you were, but more about who you were with and what you were thinking about. The reason why I'm focusing on this rich list is because this list is something we often forget. It's not on the front page of a magazine. It's not inside the newspapers. It's not on the list online. But this list is one that you can look at every single day to remind yourself how fortunate, how grateful, and how incredible your life truly is.
And rule number 10, the last one before a very special bonus clip, is travel.
Once a year, go someplace that you've never been before. Travel empowers the learner inside of us, increases our curiosity and our humility. The Journal of Personality and Social Psychology found that kids who study abroad were more humble than those who didn't travel. Being in the outdoors refreshes your senses in a way that no office air ever could. The latest evidence. In a new study published in the journal Environmental Psychology, researchers found that people who simply looked at a photo of nature for only 40 seconds had improved focus and performance on their next task. And this is my favorite thought. At first, travel leaves you speechless, and then it turns you into a storyteller. Flow or flow state is defined as the optimal state of consciousness when we perform at our best, feel at our best, but also at the same time, ego falls away, time flies, we're conscious but subconsciously experiencing our own art. It's when we're fully immersed, absorbed, and addicted to simply creating. Now, I'm sure you've all had moments when you felt that, whether you've been playing sports, an instrument, traveling, maybe looking at a beautiful scenic view, or maybe just in a really engaging conversation. But I'm going to share with you how we can experience more flow in our lives because it heightens our sense of joy or curiosity. So the two variables of flow are challenge and ability, and flow is where challenge and ability collide or meet. If your answer to my question earlier is that you often feel bored, it's usually because your skills are higher than your challenge. Everything seems easy, it's not exciting anymore, there's nothing new you need to learn, and you feel like you can do things effortlessly, but not in a way that excites you or empowers you, but in a way that almost drains you and makes you feel more lethargic and lazy.
I'm bored.
But let's say you're feeling more stressed. Let's say you're feeling anxious. Let's say you get nervous often. That's usually because the challenge is greater than our skill. The challenge has become so high, it feels like this massive mountain that we're trying to climb, and we feel like we're completely carrying the biggest weight on our shoulders, and therefore we're feeling the pressure, feeling the strain, feeling that stress. In each of these scenarios, what you're seeing is a disconnect between your challenge and your ability, which is either causing stress stress, or boredom? And there's a really, really simple solution. If you're feeling bored because your skills are higher than your challenge, what you need to do to make life abundant, exciting, thrilling again is raise your challenge. Try new opportunities, go into new arenas, be in new environments, meet new people. What that will force you to do is make you raise your challenge, which allow you to grow, allow you to thrive. And if you're finding that what you experience more often than not is stress, is pressure, is pain, then the way you combat that is by increasing your skill level. Try going on online courses, learn from mentors, go on an apprenticeship, see who you can learn and be coached by and guided by to improve your skills. What that will help you do is meet your challenge with a higher skill set. You'll now be able to walk into a challenge with confidence that you'll know how to navigate the various things the challenge will bring into your life. Flow state is this beautiful space where we completely surrender to the art and allow the energy to truly flow through us. It's something I've personally experienced and want you to experience in your life as well.
Raise your standard.
Apple at the core, its core value is that we believe that people with passion can change the world for the better.
Not one drop of my self-worth depends on your acceptance of me.
If you like this video and want more Jay Shetty, check out another top 10 that I made on him. The link is right there next to me. I think you'll enjoy it. Continue to believe, and I'll see you there.
Dream that keeps you up at night is the real dream you should be chasing. But to chase that dream, to find that dream,